Well, a lot of people won't believe me, but I am. So it's just, I think now it's time to process everything through it. Honestly, I don't know. It's just I'm mentally kind of exhausted for everything that happened.
Luka Dončić's ex-girlfriend just dropped a legal bomb on him. She filed for child support and took their daughters right in the middle of the NBA playoff race. Honestly, I don't know. It's just, I'm mentally kind of exhausted for everything that happened. Luka describes the ordeal as mentally exhausting, as fans speculate that this drama could spiral into something disastrous for his career. The foundation to understand what is really happening here. You have to go back to the beginning, not the Lakers chapter, not even the Dallas chapter. The real beginning, which starts not in an NBA arena, but on a Croatian island in the summer when Luka Dončić was 12 years old. Luka Dončić and Ana Maria Gultez were childhood acquaintances from Slovenia who first crossed paths around the age of 12 on the Croatian island of Krk. No NBA, no social media platform, no multi-million-dollar contract. Two Slovenian kids on a summer vacation island. That is where this story begins. They did not start dating then. Years passed between that first meeting and when the relationship became official. They began dating in 2016, and by that,
it was crazy hard. I even cannot explain how hard this was. I was crying. I was there every weekend. I came Friday, I left on Sunday.
Year. Luka had already been in Spain for 3 years playing professional basketball for Real Madrid. He had left Slovenia at 13, left his mother, left his friends, left every piece of the familiar world he had grown up in, and moved to a foreign country to chase something that most people could not yet see. His mother, Miriam Turbin, described what the early years of that separation cost her personally.
Maybe basketball, because it was hard for him, of course. Like for every kid, I try to do as much easy as it's possible, but it's hard.
Distance has always shadowed Luka Dončić. She flew in every Friday, out every Sunday, tears spilling while he stayed, grinding through loneliness, foreign languages, and pro basketball pressure as a teen. Divorce and early separation had already shaped him. Handling distance wasn't new. It was baseline survival. Fast forward to March 2026, and the family he built around basketball was gone. Ana Maria Gultz methodically erased him from Instagram, wiped the love highlights, unpinned the engagement post, leaving only their daughters visible. A cryptic story, 2016 to 2026, stamped a decade-long goodbye. The silence spoke louder than words. Rumors flared, linking Luka to Madeline Klein, unconfirmed yet explosive. Behind the posts, the real fracture began December 2025 in a Slovenian hospital during Olivia's birth. A dispute escalated. Police called, no charges, but contact stopped. March 10th, 2026, the breakup hit the courts. A child support petition in Los Angeles blindsiding Luka. He confirmed the split himself, citing one reason. His daughters couldn't join him in the U.S. during the NBA season. No blame, no drama, just a father's fight to be present. Now Luka juggles MVP-level performance, a playoff race, and a cross-continental custody battle. Basketball waits for no one, and the court can't pause for a postseason run. The collision is total. For Luka Dončić, the hardest game of his life isn't on the scoreboard. It's the one he can't pause, replay, or bench.
And does he still has a girlfriend, right?
Yes.
And he loves dogs?
That's definitely.
No tabloid drama, no public blowups, no cheating headlines. Just a couple doing the work of keeping something real together across thousands of miles and a significant time zone gap. For years it held. In an earlier interview, Luka's mother confirmed the relationship in passing. The way you confirm a fixed fact about someone's life rather than something that needs explaining.
First of all, from my perspective, I want him to be happy. That's number one. And I know his happiness is connected to the basketball.
That was it. Yes, no explanation needed. The relationship spoke for itself strong enough that it never needed proof. She tried to make it easier. It was still hard. And the reason this is relevant right now is because the child who watched his parents' relationship end when he was young is now watching his own relationship end. Except now there are two daughters aged 2 years and 3 months old, and there is an NBA playoff race in progress. Then came July 7th, 2023, and Luka Dončić did something perfectly on brand. He chose a date that matched his identity 77 tie to his jersey 77 and proposed to Anna Maria Galtz with the same precision. He brings to the court the engagement went public, and just 4 months later their first daughter, Gabriella, was born in the United States. In a single year, Luka became both a fiancé and a father. 2 years later, their second daughter, Olivia, arrived in Slovenia. By then, everything had already shifted. Luka had been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, and the life they built in Dallas was no longer intact. The public still saw stability, but beneath the surface, things were already starting to fracture. Luka flew to Slovenia for the birth, missing Lakers games to be there. What happened during that hospital visit in Kranja quietly changed everything, though no one knew it. Yet the truth stayed hidden for months until it finally surfaced and shook the entire narrative. A relationship that began when Luka was just 12 on a Croatian island, that survived his rise from Real Madrid to Dallas to Los Angeles, suddenly came to an end after nearly a decade together and over 2 years engaged. And in the end, it echoed something his mother once said: what matters most isn't fame or success, but what lasts when everything else changes.
Honestly, I don't know. It's just I'm mentally kind of exhausted for everything that happened.
This didn't fall apart loudly. It vanished piece by piece until nothing was left but clues. By March 2026, the picture was clear. The family around Luka Dončić was no longer whole, and fans are trying to understand how a decade-long relationship collapsed in silence. It started with small moves on Anna Maria Galtz's Instagram, a photo, gone a tag, missing nothing dramatic at first. But the pattern kept building. Within weeks, nearly every trace of Luka disappeared. Not one or two posts. Almost all of them erased a highlight reel dedicated to their love, wiped the 2023 engagement post unpinned, and buried. Only their daughters remained visible, the father removed entirely. Then came the message that said everything without saying a word. 2016 to 2026, a full decade, reduced to a quiet ending. No accusations, no explanations, just a time-stamped goodbye. And the internet understood instantly. This wasn't a break, this was a shutdown. Speculation exploded. NBA forums, gossip pages. Everywhere people noticed Luka had also gone silent. Meanwhile, rumors linked him to Madeline Klein with zero confirmation. But online silence doesn't slow rumors, it fuels them. By then, the public had already decided it was over. Behind the scenes, of pressure had been building long before social media cracked. The 2025 move to Los Angeles Lakers stretched the relationship across continents. Anna Maria returned to Slovenia with her children, while Luka stayed locked into the NBA grind. Different time zones, different lives, 2 daughters growing up an ocean away. Then the turning point, December 2025, a hospital in Slovenia. Luka flew across the world for birth of his second daughter, Olivia. But something went wrong. A dispute escalated to the point police were called. Officers found no crime, no charges, but the damage was done. Luka left and returned to the U.S., and from that moment, contact reportedly stopped completely. 3 months later, everything went public on March 10th. 2026, a legal filing hit a petition in Los Angeles seeking child support and legal fees for their daughters, Gabriella and Olivia. This wasn't rumor anymore, it was official court action. Sources say Luka was blindsided learning about it through media, despite always providing financially. That detail changed the tone completely. This was no quiet separation. This was a legal battle beginning. Luka responded directly, confirming the split. He took ownership, saying he made a decision, and pointed to one core issue. He couldn't have his daughters with him in the U.S. during the season. No blame, no attacks. Just a focus on his kids and their future, a calculated statement from a father thinking long-term. Anna Maria said nothing publicly, no interviews, no posts, just actions of filing the Instagram purge and her return to Slovenia. Her message was clear without words. She was moving through the courts, not the media. Now, the reality, this is not about money. It's about geography and access. A father in Los Angeles, a mother in Slovenia, 2 very young daughters, in between a cross-border custody fight that doesn't end when the buzzer sounds. On the court, Luka is still elite, putting up MVP numbers, leading the Lakers deep into the playoff race. No missed games, no visible drop. But stats don't show what's coming next. Legal battles, hearings, distance, pressure, all hitting at once. Even Luka admitted he feels mentally exhausted trying to process everything that's different from game pressure. This doesn't end after 4 quarters. It follows him everywhere: locker room flights, sleepless nights. He's built his career on thriving under pressure. But this isn't a Game 7. This is life changing and ongoing. So now everything collides: the playoffs, the courtrooms, the distance, the silence. The question isn't what he's doing now, it's what happens when it all hits at once. Because for the first time, the biggest challenge in Luka Dončic's career isn't on the court, and there's no final buzzer to save him. Again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more interesting details.